Another segment we like to get involved in here is something we like to call bruh. Very self-explanatory, right? The moment you see it, your only reaction that comes out is just a good old bruh. I think it's self-explanatory. Right. Yeah, you got the addiction and everything down. We'll start things off. Ohio State and Indiana squaring off today. It was behind whooping courtesy of the Buckeyes and a certain quarterback by the name of Ramsey. He wasn't even supposed to start today, right? Like, in fairness to him.
He doesn't even go here.
He always gets up
you
for
take
a
this.
reference.
Honestly?
But as we run this back, he just drops the ball. I don't know. I don't know if he got excited. He might have seen something downfield that he's ready to get some money on. Yeah. Something.
No, I think he felt Chase Young.
Just
coming from I feel like this is going to be a theme where you see Chase Young, full-blown predator, chase down from behind.
The dreads swaying in the wind are terrifying.
That's going to happen to a lot of people this year. Shout out to all those D linemen for not doing the defensive back thing where you didn't actually do anything to cause the play, but you still get up there and sell it like it's your job, hit one of these. My new favorite DB celebration, this one right here.
It's like the more you know.
With the sass, by the way. Note the sass from Gojo sitting down.
Gymnastics has been brought over the world of football. Yes. You see me.
Next up for bruh. Tennessee Vols in general have really just been a bruh program to start the year. But this here element it's interesting. So we got to unpack this a little bit, right? Like, the responsibility of the football team, evidently for a lot of different programs, is to help get the following of certain players, to get their following up. Only problem is, my man's handle is D1 Fuzzy Muffin 17. If you are unclear as to who that person could represent, because Lord knows I had no clue who that individual was.
BioBlast.
Tyler Bird, excuse me. I think aside from the handle itself, that's a great looking profile.
24K, got a good end zone
That's
pick for
pretty
the
nice.
header.
These are one of those profiles though that the social media director says, hey, let's double check that link, make sure we're not seeing anything fuzzy other than maybe the muffin. D1, that checks out. Let's go ahead and vet this though.
I'm not gonna lie, every time I look at it, I keep thinking it says DJ Fuzzy Muffin, and I keep thinking what a dope drop down.
Drop the track, Gojo!
DJ Fuzzy Muffin. Listen to the track.
Horn!
Incredible.
If you don't hear the drop,
it's not
a true exclusive.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So, in any case, the thing about bruh is that we can get a lot of things into it, right? Like, we got a Twitter handle in there. We got a hell of a play in there. And this next one is interesting on a whole different level because it is a discussion that surrounds one of our coworkers, and Tim Tebow offered some an opinion on the Fair Pay for Play Act that just went into action out in California.
I feel like I have a little credibility and knowledge about this because when I was at the University of Florida, I think my jersey was one of the top-selling jerseys around the world. It was like Kobe, LeBron, and then I was right behind them, and I didn't make a dollar from it. But nor did I want to, because I knew going into college what it was all about. I knew going to Florida, my dream school, where I wanted to go, the passion for it, and if I could support my team, support my college, support my university, that's what it's all about. But now we're changing it from us, from my university, from being an alumni where I care, which makes college football and college sports special, to then, okay, it's not about us, it's not about we, it's just about me. And yes, I know we live in a selfish culture where it's all about us, but we're just adding and piling it onto that, where it changes what's special about college football. We turn it into the NFL, where who has the most money, that's where you go. That's why people are more passionate about college sports than they are about NFL. That's why the stadiums are bigger in college than they are in the NFL, because it's about your team. It's about your university. It's about where my family wanted to go. It's about where my grandfather had a dream of seeing Florida win an SEC championship. And you're taking that away so that young kids can earn $1. And that's just not where I feel like college football needs to go.
That's fair,
There's that opportunity in the NFL, but not in college football.
So here's the thing, and I don't want to sit here and act like I'm about to just go in on Tim Tebow, because I think his sentiment is certainly not exclusive to him, right? And he's gotten plenty of flack via Twitter already. But my thing was, the first thing I thought of was that just because Tim doesn't necessarily want the money doesn't mean that anybody could potentially earn the money shouldn't be able to. No one was forcing the money into Tim's pockets. No one would be forcing the money into any other given player's pockets. But to refuse the right to be able to collect money on your own likeness that is already bringing in a ridiculous amount of money into your given program it feels absurd. You should be able to capitalize on that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of points in this argument that I have disagreements with. One is the culture of selfishness. Labeling something like that absolves a lot of individuals who make selfish decisions of their decision making. Number two is this idea that money creates selfishness. Money exposes all that stuff. You and I both played a lot of football, both played with a lot of guys who we could probably call selfish if we're being honest, and none of whom earned a dollar to their name. And so they were going to be that regardless of whether they were earning, so why not? And the number one argument I hear is, well, only 1% of these guys are going to earn one of this. Okay, good. If you're not worried about that, then let's find out. Why not give these guys the opportunity? We played, and this is far down, but Bomani Jones made a great point. Poverty shouldn't be the backdrop for this. The amount of guys that have been around college football who could definitely use that money, who need extra walking around money. Just because you have the luxury to say no to a bunch of money, if you are Tim Tebow or if you are anyone who comes from means, doesn't mean that other people should have to. They should have the choice.
Yeah, no, I'm going to keep it funky with you. Like, having played D1 football at Harvard, I had moments in which I was transferring cents on the dollar between accounts just to make sure I can go get an Arizona iced tea to drink with my dinner. Like, it's problematic in a sense. And I'm not saying that my example is shared by every single Division I football player. But if I were to have the opportunity, and Lord knows I was nowhere near big time enough to earn money off of my own likeness. But if the opportunity was there, why exactly should I not be able to capitalize off that? And no, it's not selfish of me to want to get a little bit of pocket change.
Exactly. That's probably the biggest point I have. Money does not create selfishness. Money does not reveal all these awful things. You are who you are before you get it and after you get it. We have plenty of guys that are 22 years old, not making any money in college, and then a year later are millionaires. I didn't see Deshaun Watson all of a sudden become an awful person when he left college. Did I miss that part where all of a sudden money made him a bad guy? So I fully and truly push back on that idea in all this.
Guys, the juxtaposition here works because you guys played D1 football. You weren't allowed to make money. When I was in college, I could have got paid internships, something that you D1 football guys aren't eligible for. So I agree with you guys being able to capitalize on your likeness 100%. Get your money. The question I do have, though, and the one point Tim Tebow raised that I sort of have to agree with, is if one guy, Tim Tebow, is going to make absorbently amount more money than any other player on his team, it's going to cause some sort of rift there in that locker room. And this is not something to solve on the last 20 minutes here of this college football show, but there is inherently a problem with that, right? Because you're going to look at your teammate, your locker buddy, your classmate, who might be a millionaire, but you're not capitalizing off any bit of your likeness because maybe you don't have any.
Understand something, though. Like, it's similar to even how publication goes when you see your boy that's getting money, like, using the wrong turn of phrase there, getting the airtime and getting the clout that you may not necessarily be privy to. It's about a lot of self-awareness, and I think within a locker room that permeates quite a bit in that you recognize exactly why somebody is getting the publications that they are. You know why they are getting the love worldwide that they are, and that sort of checks the ego entirely. But like, I also don't believe that it's going to create some ego just because you now have the capital behind your name. Like, the ego was there regardless.
I guess that's the thing, is all of these dynamics that people talk about money exacerbating in college football already exist. Like, there are already guys on the team that are haves and guys that are have-nots. There are 5 stars that come in who from day one are the man on campus, who are given every opportunity, rightly so because of their ability and all this, and have been for quite a while, that are going to be treated differently. You all understand you'll be treated fairly, but you won't be treated the same. And every guy who straps on pads knows that. So money might heighten the awareness of that, but it's not creating something that isn't already there. And that goes for every situation, every rebuttal I've heard for pay for play. And this isn't even that. This is image and likeness. This isn't money coming from the school.
Without question.
This isn't money that's going to inappropriately leverage big-time programs any more than they already are. Like, people talking about affecting competitive balance. We're getting ready for Clemson-Bama Part 5. Like, there are already haves, slightly lesser haves, and then have-nots in college football. That doesn't change because you start throwing a few extra dollars that kids could be able to earn.
I'm glad we can come to one conclusion real quick here. Shout out to Arizona Iced Tea. They've kept it literally a buck since they've been around. They stamp it on the aluminum. They stamp it on the aluminum. They can't change that.
And one last thing, like, I think when it comes to this whole money discussion, it's acting as if there isn't already a ridiculous amount of money being pumped into college football, and that is not already about the money. When we see that the only things that attract the top recruits are the top-notch facilities, the big old stadiums, and just whatever else you can find something to spend money on, that's what you use in order to draw in these recruits, who then end up laboring in order to get you more money so that you can pump more money back into your program.
But Trevor, all this money coming in will mean that boosters at big-time schools will have 5-star prospects signing with Ohio State and Alabama. And
Wait.
Oh.
Do they already do that, Gojo?
Wait.
I'm not sure. We'll have to check.
Crazy.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app, and for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.